Good morning. Yeah, it's morning here in my space in Sweden, and I'm thankful that I come to live in the very south of Sweden, and so I don't live up in the far north because that's still are snow and almost winter. But here is it on its way to be summer, at least spring. We have it's still cold in the morning, in the nights, so I have to take in my plants I have in my garden that is not, I have not put them down in the soil yet. I grow them just now, and I can pick them in. So all the sensitive plants I take in for the night. So it's out and in on with the plants. I care for them, and I want to have this garden. I call it Jesus' garden because that's what I have seen Jesus doing. He is in a heavenly garden. There is a garden in heaven also, because people should enjoy life. There is a life in heaven also, and one of the things that make joy to people, most of the people, is I'm not talking about grass, to cut the grass. I'm talking about flowers and harvest fruit and harvest herbs and those things that make people happy, most of the people. And so I am on my way to start to bring out the plants, but I wanted to talk to you first because you know that those worldly things, it doesn't go into my brain so much, so I don't keep it. So if it's something happened, then I have to talk to you as soon as I can. And today on the news was about this Russia. They have and they have make these long distance missiles, and I have talking about before that I think it was Russian drones that was over our nuclear plants, and there were not tourists like they say in the news, because those it was they say it was about 2 meters big drones, and that is not what common people have or tourists have, those so very big drones, because it was storm that the evening when they were over the nuclear plants, and they could be there, stay there, even if it was so very strong wind. So that is not right. I was on my way to say be something, but I didn't. I know those words also, uh, but and then it was this morning long distance missiles, and then Putin had told the world that we have to be careful what we are doing, we other countries, and Sweden is close to Russia, so it can happen something here, and Sweden have going up in the measurement of a threat, a terrorist threat, and it was 4 before, 1 year ago, and now is it up to 3. No, the opposite. It was 3, and then it's 4, and it's higher. I say that it's 5 is the highest, and then 4 do we have now. So it's likely that there will be terrorism in Sweden, and I have channels that is from other countries. I have Al Jazeera, that is this Arabic Middle East news, and I love that channel because it's showing other countries than Europe. And I have BBC, I have CNN and other some, and especially now when it's like things are moving in this world, and now it was about this conflict with Israel and Palestine, and it is a little like war going on there at Gaza, and it is a risk to travel to Israel just now. Sometimes it's slowing down, and then it starts to burn this hate and like what we say, local war going on, and just now it's on its rise. It's very much frustrating just now with the Islamic people, and that it is this. If you listen at the last podcast that I cut out, that the angel that come and she talking about those waves, and it is, and I am old enough to remember those. It have been some years that have been this this way before. In 1968, around there, it was very much demonstration and fight with the police. But the different from there to today is that it's more weapon going on. They didn't have the weapon like they have today. And I saw this in the morning when they're talking about this about the this Danish man burning the Quran, and those Muslim young boys, they took the police car. They were inside the police car, so it means that the police couldn't handle it. So it maybe will be even more harder when they see that our police is weak. And the police come with the dogs, the police dogs, and those dogs couldn't bite. They had around their mouth, so they couldn't bite. So what good are they doing, those dogs, when they can't bite people that attack the police? Because those Muslim, they hate dogs. They hate dogs. Many of them have fears, but fears, dogs that are frightened, they can bite, and that's the same with people, that they also can bite back, and are not frightened about the dogs because they have around the mouth, close their mouth, so they see it. So what good does the dog do more than maybe make them be more angry about the dogs also? And they say that the attack was not about the Danish man. The attack was to the police. They attacked the police. It was revenge on the police. And so it had been before. I have been in that situation. I called for the police, and they have not done anything to help me. And it's been worse and worse. So, it was interesting to learn about the freedom of speech. It's in our basic law. I know almost the word for it. It's in our basic for the law in Sweden that we have the freedom of speech. And that is a good thing, but it can be also stop things that works not so good when it's come to this conflict we have today, when we have let in those people from Middle East to be here in Sweden, and they see it in their culture. They see it another way than what Swedish political people are doing, because they don't really understand, because they are not living with people in those areas where I live in a Muslim area here in Sweden. We are not many people that is Swedish, like born. They say they count it as 3 generation born. Then I am Swedish, and so we are not many, and the it is many things going on today around the world. And in Australia, they have their catastrophic about the water, and then when it's water, it comes the heat, and things are growing, and crocodiles is going into the house with the water, and it's a scary thing. And why I talking about this is that to develop your spirit, to develop the peace inside you, that it that everything in the storm. I have a spirit now, so maybe it's the spirit from yesterday. It's every storm. The storm never lasts forever, and that you have to look at it. That there will, after rain is come sunshine again, and after the storm is coming a calm weather situation, and that's how you have to think about when it's coming these threaten things that from the world, what's coming in the nature, and what your closest environment is threatening you about. I have a threat where I live because I'm Swedish, not a Muslim, and it doesn't help that I tell them that I am not religious, because for them is it either you are Muslim or you are enemy. So that doesn't help that you tell them that you don't care about religion. That doesn't help at all. So that I can't say. They know that I am not Muslim, but they don't scare me because I hold the peace, and I know that God protect me because I have the mark in the forehead, and I have these 3 dots that I don't see it today, but there have been 3 dots, and it's in my skin, even if it have pale away. I don't know, because I can't see in every part of my body. I can't see, so I am marked to be okay, to be protected, and you need to have this faith in you. We should not be foolish. We have to be wise and not go where we shouldn't go. We have to think. I have told you that the best weapon we have is in our brain, and that is saying that you can think before you act. So you need to practice and bring into your brain those comfort talking into your brain that the storm never lasts forever. And I meet violence with peace. And when I feel like someone is taking me, push me in, this is spirit going on now. He make me saying this things. When you feel that someone is pushing into the corner, and you see the face of the violence close to you, the most what you can do to not make it worse is to have a communication with God inside your brain. And in that way, when you talk it to God, the violence face, the violence eyes is seeing you be in peace, because you can't be in violence when you are talking to God. That is to focus on God and not focus what is around you. That's what you do, and you ask God to come with a solution for the situation you are in. You ask God to send you angels to help you, and that is angels that she was talking about in the last episode, that the angel is people that walking around here on earth, and they maybe not know that they have the angel spirit inside them, but they act on it without knowing it. Maybe most of them don't know, but the angels have taken place in them. So you ask for those angels that is here on earth, but you can't ask them on your own. You have to ask God to send them. Everything is going through God, but in that way you need to know who am God. You can't pray to and talk to Jesus, because Jesus have no duty anymore on earth. He told you in the Bible that he's going away. He's not here. The angels told in the grave, that in the tomb, that Jesus is not here. He's rising. He's away from earth. They have told you many times, but you don't believe it. But you need to believe it, because that can cause you to be killed. You have to know who am God, and that's what I'm here to teach you. As long as it is one person that I know, because I can see at the statistic of my podcast, as long as I see one person is follow me and want to know more who am God, and what's in heaven and what's it's the future for this world. As long as it is one person that I see that is full of me, then I do this podcast. That's enough for me that one person is follow me, and I see that I get more people in Ireland. Do you understand this? You have been raised up and hear your parents talking about this religious conflict. There have been so much people have been killed because of religion in Ireland, and I know you are tired of it. You don't want it to happen again, that it's going to be a local war and your children are killed in those conflict there is. And that is only conflict between religions. It's ridiculous, but they don't know God. Those uh, that are fighting in religions, they don't know. The Muslim doesn't know. The Lutheran doesn't know. The Catholic doesn't know God. And the Mormon church doesn't know God. They have changed. It's scaring for me, but I have to continue to do my work, even if I see that the Christianity is getting more and more people, and that Christianity is about Jesus is God, and I have to not think about it. I need to focus on my work for God. So, but it's scaring to see it when I say statistic and that I hear and read about how many people that convert to believe that Jesus is God, and that was not Jesus' meaning. In that way, Jesus failed. He failed very bad, very bad. But it's not his fault. It's people's fault that make him in 325. They make Jesus be God. It's not what Jesus say. He was talking about the kingdom of God. He was talking about heaven. But people are people. They go with the nature. They wanted to have a person that have been walking around as a person here on earth. They don't want to have a God somewhere that you can't see, that you have never could see God. As long as you live here on earth, you have never seen God, and I don't see God when He's coming here and talk. But it's only a very energy presence of Him, and there is not a body. He never showed me a body. I have seen God, but that was when I was up to heaven. That's different. But here on earth we can't see Him. We can see a little touch of Him in the people, but those people that we see that we know now, because the angel yesterday told us that it's God is sending his angels inside people's body and they act on it. But it's not God that coming down and is inside a person. It's we receive the Spirit of God inside us. But the Spirit of God is not the body, and it's only a presence of God as a form of a spirit. But the angel is taking place inside our body. But God is like he was from the start, from the first day that he was flying over our planet. I be hit of the spirit that is here. That's why I breathe strange sometimes. God's spirit was flying over our planet. He didn't come down to our planet and work on it. He was over the earth, and with his words he created what's inside this planet of good. There was a planet before God came, but that planet, our planet, was voided because it was so evil. It was dark planet. It was not a good planet from the beginning, and I'm worried that we are going back to be in the darkness, to be a planet that all this creature that is around, those dimensions that we sometimes can feel but we don't see it, those dimension is going to leave and avoid our planet. So that this is the spirit talking. It's not me talking. It's here on me, and it's a male. He is saying, keep talking. He's saying that to me. Keep talking, keep talking. So, but I say to him that you have to place the word on my tongue for me to could talk. We have to be together in this to talk to people. I can't do it on my own. I need you to talk and lay the words on my tongue so I can speak from heaven. He say this about to you. He's telling you that you should not be worried as long as you do what we are talking about to be in peace, whatever, and you can communicate with us inside your mind whenever, even if it's storm around you, you hold your peace and then you talk to us, and for us to coming down. But you don't talk to angels, you talk to God about it, and you hold it in that way you hold the peace. He's showing me that he is very tired. He's tired of what the world is showing him. He said that. He said this, I'm ready to go home, he say. So that's very strange that he is saying this, because he is from heaven. But he's saying he's ready to go home, and that means that he don't covering our planet anymore. That's he is not saying that he have left the covering of this world. He don't say that, but he say that he's very close to do that. That's what he's saying. He's tired. He tired to try to covering this planet when covering the world when the world doesn't want to have this covering. They don't ask for it. They don't, and that is that they don't ask God of the covering, because they think they can manage everything on their own, like they are God. We are like small gods, but we are not God. We can make decision on our own, and that in that way we are small gods. But we are not God, the Almighty, the Elohim, Yah, or whatever you have a name for God. It's not Jesus. That is not a God. He's also he was not even a small God on earth when he was walking here. Jesus, he was not even a small God, because he was a vessel for God to place in the word, so God could communicate with us. That was Jesus. So he had not his own will, like I have not had my own will since year 2000, when God come and took me away and be apart from the world. When God started my walk here on earth in year 2000, and so I don't have my own will. Of course I have my will in smaller things, but not in a spirit way. And that was the same for Jesus. We are the same, Jesus and I, and we don't have our will, and a small God have his or hers will. So that's the difference. I am taking, and those church leaders that have heard me, they go angry when I say I'm a slave for God. But it is like that, because I don't have my will. I have my freedom in worldly things to do, in small things that doesn't matter a bit, that doesn't matter in in my relationship with God. That I have, but in the big picture, the real, the truth, the real life, that I don't have any will. And that is so very different, is the difference between to be chosen and called. Those that is called, they still have their own will. But we that are chosen, that is picked, that is taken of God, we don't have our will. What I have done since year 2000, it have been what God want me to do. He have told me, and he have forced me, and in many ways communicate with me to not to do what is in his plan for me and for this world. And so I still wait for a turnaround. You can see that I don't have so many listeners. I have 6-7 other platforms than only SoundCloud. I have all those big platforms for podcast. I have Spotify, and I have I have all the Samsung's television and this podcast. I have many platforms, so this is only one platform. It shows that you can see that how many listeners, but you don't share those episodes. But I know why you don't share the episodes, because it's very few that is really listener. As soon as I forget to stop the comments on my episode, I get people that want to make commercial for their own podcast. And in the beginning it was about selling drugs, was it? It was like this planet that it was very dark. And they tried to have my podcast to be a commercial to selling drugs on the internet. But that is gone now, most of it. But it's still coming, those that try to steal my podcast to be a podcast for God, the work for God. And the devil want to take over this podcast to be his. But so I'm sorry that I can't open up for comments, because those evil forces is on directly, immediately, as I post a new episode, and I have forgot to stop comments. They are there. They are very quick, and that's how the devil are. The devil is very quick. You need to know the difference between the devil and God. That the devil is working very fast. Fast money, fast business, fast answer from you, fast action from you. That was what the devil want. So you have to step back and say, oh, stop a little. I have to think about it. You have to say that, or else you run with the devil. So I hope I don't scare you and make it harder for you. Uh, we love you. God and I love you, and we want your best. It can be a little harsh, be a little hard talking, but it's for your education. It's for your education, for your development in the spirit way, to understand, to be awake. We want to shake you up sometimes. So thank you. We love you.